Alaska Bourbon Cabin. I'm Connor.
Dylan.
And we are back, or I should say I'm back in Alaska.
It's been a lonely weekend for me.
So back, I was over east. I had flown into Nashville for a friend's bachelor party, and I spent 36 hours getting to hunt. So flew into Nashville, got to run up to Kentucky, back down, flew in on a Thursday morning, rented a car, and by Friday at noon, I had to be back in Nashville. So this is...
Do any distilleries while you were there?
Couple distilleries. Right. We'll go through that. Was able to do two tours, or one tour, and then got to visit multiple. So pretty excited, and we'll start going through. As you guys can see in front of us, these are I think we counted 23 was the final number. 23 bottles that are all bottles that don't come to Alaska, or 22 that don't come to Alaska. One that we just can't find in Alaska.
That's right.
But all of the rest of these are ones that
you did, didn't you? That's for another video.
Another video.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, yeah. So all the rest of these are ones that we can't find here. That don't.
Cannot. They don't come up here.
Yeah. There's a couple that don't even have distribution slated to come up here, much less eventually make it up here. There are some that just don't get distributed. So
yeah. So. I don't know if I want to call our distributors out by name, but do better for Alaska.
Yes, yeah. There's plenty of bourbon drinkers up here. So how you want to start? You want to start with landed in Nashville and move up, or do we just want to start at one side? And actually, you know what? Let's start with the distilleries. Those were so the big tour I took. I was able to get in on one of the whiskey connoisseur distilleries at Heaven Hill.
Okay.
Now, Heaven Hill was a phenomenal gift shop, phenomenal area. I'll let you pull those out. I actually didn't get them at the gift shop, though.
No?
No, didn't get them at the tour, didn't get them at the gift shop. I actually got nothing at Heaven Hill. I bought no bottles at Heaven Hill.
Right?
I did. So the connoisseur tasting, we tasted their Pikesville Rye, their Henry McKenna 10, their William H. Heaven Hill, and 2 of the Elijah Craigs, 1 small batch, 1 barrel proof. So... didn't actually get to try their bottled and bonds. Didn't get to try some of their other stuff.
And the Elijah Craig,
phenomenal as always. Yeah. You know that
he has like 15 bottles of that Elijah Craig.
We're a big fan of those barrel proofs.
We are great bang for buck.
So
another video on that.
So the bottle, for those of you guys that have done the whiskey connoisseur tour tasting, of those 5 bottles, they have 1 available for purchase. The one that they had this time was the Pikesville Rye.
Was it your favorite out of the tasting?
No.
What was the favorite?
Either the William H. Heaven Hill or the Henry McKenna 15, other than the barrel proof. The barrel proof, to me, blew. You could argue that the William H. Heaven Hill, but for $300 versus the barrel proofs that are costing us, what, $46.99?
Yeah.
Less than $50?
It's just too tasty and too cheap. It's hard to compete with.
Yeah. So... didn't buy any bottles there. It was just so that Pikesville Rye was the one that they had for sale for us. Up here, we can find the Pikesville Rye at 8 of 10 stores. So it was not a bottle. It was not any better priced at the distillery than what it was here, and I was not going to take up another bottle of space in the luggage / mailing, because I mailed a bunch of bottles, which was expensive, by the way. I wasn't going to take up the space. We can get them up here. There was no reason to. So. Since we're on the Heaven Hill, I did pick up 2 of their 7-year bottled and bonds. So picked up both of these for $50 on the dot, $49.99. 2 separate places. This is one, Heaven Hill. The Heaven Hill branded bottles don't distribute to Alaska. So even in the lotteries, even in the tough ones, we cannot get Heaven Hill.
So yeah, we've only read, heard, and in some cases watched other people drink it. But I'm excited. I was hoping this is one of the ones he'd bring back simply because you just can't get it here.
And you'll see, we can get some of the, like I said, some of the Heaven Hill products, but anything branded with the name Heaven Hill doesn't come up here. So we'll kind of move these to the side. Just to go next, because I want to pour it, and that's what we're going to sip on while we're here. We are going to come...
Oh, we're starting big, huh?
Colonel E.H. Taylor.
Alrighty.
So on my second day, on that Friday... I didn't go to Buffalo Trace first thing in the morning. It was Blanton's, and it was just I had the option of hitting a couple other places and doing some shopping or trying to get a Blanton's. We can find Blanton's up here.
You can. It's about once a month. You can almost guarantee. If you're looking, you'll find it.
Yeah, once a month you can get a bottle. So wasn't necessarily on the list. That Friday, waited. I was in Frankfort, waited until the very last minute when they announced that it was going to be at about 8 a.m. Ran over there, and I was able to sit in line. I got in line. It was about 8:30, 8:35. They open at 10, and I wasn't anywhere near the end of the line, and they had hundreds more bottles. When I was probably 250, maybe 300 in line. And when I got there, for those of you guys that have been to the distillery and seen that wall they had, only one of their little cubbies looked like it had a dent, and they had 3 carts that were being stocked. When I left, it was like 10:25 by the time I got out of there, maybe 10:30. And the line probably had another 100 people, and I bet you they had another 300 bottles just on the shelf. Who knew what they had in the back?
Up here, we're lucky to find one in the state. I mean, yeah.
So we're gonna pour this really quick. This is one that we have only been fortunate to have tasting.
I don't think I've actually tasted it.
So I have only ever gotten it at a restaurant. So this was probably the highlight of my find for the trip.
You're gonna have to pick a favorite.
Oh, favorite find or favorite? Other than this guy, this is the only one that I've tasted in the Henry McKenna. I tasted at the tour. Everything else is a new.
Smells good.
Is a new one for me.
It's subtle on the nose.
And this is neck pour, just cracked. Not really giving it time. I'm excited.
Me too. It's just kind of legendary up here.
Oh, such a good drinker. Let's go through. Let's move this along.
Oh, wow.
We'll do a review at some point.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we've even need to review this one. There's so
Lives
many
up to
reviews
the
out
hype.
there.
It
lives to the hype.
Yeah.
Long story short, buy it at MSRP. Buy it $5 MSRP. I bought it at MSRP.
Wow,
MSRP pricing at the distillery. Don't pay $125, $130 secondary for this. Don't do it. Don't pay. Pay MSRP. Pay MSRP plus 5%. Don't pay. Don't pay $150.
I'd pay $150 for it. I mean, I paid that for the. No, I didn't pay that for the weather. Shit, I think it's worth it.
Okay.
Moving on.
While at Buffalo Trace, I picked up some small little shooters of the Buffalo Trace bottles, just to have. Again, we don't see these up here, so just more of a novelty. And then I did pick up their White Dog Mash
Just
number
clarify,
1.
we see Buffalo Trace all the time, but not the shooters.
Correct. Sorry. You can see Buffalo Trace any day.
Any day.
9 out of 10 stores.
Big bottle, small,
Yeah.
average, 750, but never the shooter.
Never the shooters. And then I did pick up their White Dog Mash number 1. More in this at a different video.
We'll do an in-depth on that.
Yeah, we'll do it in depth, and
It'll be fun.
more to come.
Yeah.
The very first thing, landed in Nashville, started driving north, started hitting the smallest liquor stores that I can find, and right off the bat, I found Heaven's Door 10-year. I found an Early Times Bottle and Bond black plastic cap. Super excited. So that was restaurant number 1, and then liquor store number 1, and then I turned around and I found Booker's, which is the 4th release of 2022. So that's Pinky's batch.
I'm excited to have a bean product because we don't get too many of those in the heavyweights.
Nope. And then the 2XO, the Phoenix blend. So that's blend number 1. Now they had the secondary blend, and is it Inferno? You guys will have to correct me on that one. They had them both. They were $100 a piece. I was already spending $99 on the Bookers. I was spending $100 here. The Heaven's Door was $80, and so I was already at $350. I couldn't go another $100 for this second batch. So plus we've never had this, so I didn't necessarily want to drop another $100 for the second batch when we don't even know if we like it.
True. Yeah, if we know we like it. Well, we're just gonna go. You're gonna take me to Nashville.
We'll just have to go back to Nashville and spend 3 or 4 days at the Bourbon Trail. So, so let's move these guys out of the way. So these are all. So this was I was still in Tennessee at this point. I had not actually crossed over into Kentucky. So right before we crossed over into Kentucky, third stop, I found the Penelopes. So Penelope toasted barrel strength. I'll let you read that, guy.
Right. Heavy toast. I didn't know there was rankings of toast. I'll have to look that up. But 110 proof, aged 4 years.
And then I got their barrel strength 4 grain. So 112 proof, batch number 14. The reason we bought these, I don't know what availability like for you guys, but Penelope doesn't distribute to Alaska. So
first I've seen or heard of this.
So we can't, not even just allocated, we can't get it. It doesn't come. So it's a big find for us.
Hate federal government.
Government. 3-4 tier systems. Man. So crossed over into Kentucky. First place I stopped, you guys will see, if you guys watch the other videos, you will hear Liquor Barn in Bowling Green. It was everybody I was talking about. I went a little hard at the Liquor Barn. So Prideful Goats, all of the Sagamore spirits. There's a third. And the 13th Colony. So 5 bottles from Liquor Barn. To that point, my most excited to that day was the 13th Colony.
Why is that? I was just about to ask.
So this is their bourbon. They make the double oaked, which they just did their first batches last year, 2022. Batch number 2 doesn't come out until 2023 this fall. They're up and coming out of Georgia, so a lot to come from them. I see high hopes coming from them. So that was what I was most excited about. So we're gonna have to try that.
I don't think I've had a whiskey from Georgia.
I haven't. So the Sagamores, I'm sure you guys have heard. Another one that does not come to Alaska. Prideful Goat. If you guys know Randy Sullivan and follow his page, Bourbon Real Talk, again, doesn't come to Alaska. So had to give it a try. Cask strength, 6 year from Liquor Barn. I think I paid $55, I believe. So the Sagamores were anywhere between $60 and $90. I don't remember exactly. This guy has a price tag on the back, so I know I paid $86.99 for him. Excited. So we got the Reserve Series finished in sherry barrels. The double oaked at 96.6, and then the cask strength rye, which is 112.2. So first stop in Kentucky.
Good stop.
Great finds. So from there, made my way up into Bardstown, where a bunch of distilleries. I was on my way to Heaven Hill, made a quick stop in Bardstown, and I found some Isaac Bowman. I found the single barrel proof in a 375.
I got a picture of that one.
So 133.3 proof.
Hot.
I am excited. Ooh. So
is that the hottest one we've had?
I believe so.
Even?
Yes, yeah. I believe so. So I did find, just to jump ahead, so this was still Thursday. On Friday, I did find a 750 of this that was on my way back down into Nashville, and it was 129.8. But we drank it all weekend and killed the bottle that weekend. So, but I had only found the 375. So in Bardstown, I had picked up the 375 single barrel as well as the Isaac Bowman. So here in Alaska, we can get the Bowman brothers.
We can.
Great
Which is
pour.
how I figured out about the Isaac Bowman.
Great pour, $32.
Yeah, worth it.
So, but the Isaac Bowman and the John J. Bowman don't come up here. So, had to pick it up, have to try it. So,
man, just imagine, not that it's legal, but I want, you bring these to Alaska and they just triple in value. Trade value. Yes.
Trade value. Don't worry. We're not selling secondary pricing on. So from Bardstown, I was able to go over to Heaven Hill. Again, didn't buy any bottles. From Heaven Hill, I went to Lux Row. Beautiful tasting room. They had the Ezra Brook 7 year. They didn't have the 12 year, which is what I was shooting for. So didn't pick anything up at Ezra Brooks. From there, where did I go from from Lux Row? Oh, I went back into Bardstown. And then I ran up to Four Roses, which it wasn't initially where I wasn't going to go, but I decided to. And so first bottle of the single barrel private selection barrel strength.
Okay.
So these are ones that, again, don't come to Alaska. You buy them at the distillery, and they change them out. They have two distilleries, one that's kind of north towards Louisville, and then one that's kind of south.
It's interesting because Four Roses has always been hit or miss with me.
And we'll talk, you guys probably know, but we'll talk their numbers. The first bottle, or their numbers and letters, I should say. But the first bottle that I got was an OBSO. So we'll talk what that means and go through it. From there, I went up to Frankfort, went to a couple different stores, and I found the Larceny Barrel Proof. Another one that I've never seen up here. So we can get their 1870.
Yeah, but not barrel proof.
So paid $100 for it, a little bit steep for, but it was the first store I had seen it. Again, don't get it in Alaska. So.
And if you watched our previous videos, if it's cask strength or barrel proof or any one of those, it's going to be better.
And we're going to drink it, and chances are we're going to like it.
Yeah. I have yet to be that'll be interesting. If we can ever find a bourbon that the cask strength is worse than the normal.
Ooh.
I don't believe it exists.
If you guys have one.
Yeah, let us know.
If you guys have one that a proof down version is better than the cask strength, let us know.
We'll review it.
And we'll find the bottles, and potentially we'll find the bottles. If they come to Alaska, we'll find the bottles. You may have to send us samples, but so we will do our best.
23, I kind of interrupted you. Did we get through all 20?
Nope.
Okay.
Still got a few more.
Let's keep
We're going to
going.
hammer down because it's a long video here. I went into a local liquor store and said, I want something that I can only get in Kentucky. I can't get in Alaska.
Smart.
And they pointed me towards, without hesitation, they said, this is what you've got to get.
No. It's a little bit on that, not in Alaska, because you got a lot of not in Alaskas. Only
in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So Lincolnpinch, hopefully I'm saying that right.
Let me give it a whirl. Yeah, Lincolnpinch. Well, I guess you got to type it out. So
yeah, Lincolnpinch. We'll put it down somewhere. We'll put it in the comments. Single barrel cask strength, 4-year.
This is a hot one, man.
Comes in at 118.2, so 118, 120.
Pretty spicy.
Yeah, so we'll try. They said it was great. They couldn't give me any flavor profiles. They had a handful to pick, but this was.
You took a man's word. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
We'll see. From there, so it wasn't Bardstown. I went up to Frankfort. Had stayed in Frankfort. That next morning was when I went to Buffalo Trace. From Buffalo Trace, I went to the Wild Turkey. Their little temporary tasting. They didn't have anything that we couldn't find up here. They had their standard 101s, the Kentucky Spirit. They had the Russell's 10 and the Russell's single barrel. But
Russell's, I like Russell's.
Yeah, and we can find them up here. They're just on the shelf up here. So, and interestingly, right now the Russell's 10-year is on sale. I just saw it today, so this is a couple days later. But on sale for $28.99.
You didn't tell me that.
I saw it today, $32.99 at the distillery, I think is what it was. So I wasn't going to bring a bottle that we can find and more expensive there. So from there, I went to the other Four Roses further south, picked up another single barrel strength, 58.2%, and this is an OESK. So this is lighter on the rye, if I remember right. Again, we'll talk about the barrel proofs and
it sounds like we're going to side by side.
The Four Roses numbering. At that point, I had gone back down into Nashville, and the last bottle that I found on my way back to the airport in Nashville to drop the car off was a Davidson's Reserve Bourbon. And this was a guy, I wanted, the guy at the store, I wanted something from Tennessee, that, and it's 120.8 proof single barrel. And they are out of Tennessee somewhere. We'll do a review on this and kind of give you guys some more info.
Nashville, I'm guessing.
Somewhere. But at that same store was also where I found the Henry McKenna 10. Paid $56.99 for that. I don't know whether that's a good price or not, again, because it doesn't come to Alaska. I've never seen it available in Alaska.
So it's a good price up here.
Even on the allocated lists, it's never on the allocated list. So I don't know, being a Heaven Hill product, that it never comes up.
So the goal of your trip, I'm assuming, is to get stuff we just can't get here.
Not
Is that the
allocated that we can't touch, minus the Colonel E.H. Taylor bottles that don't come. So, yeah, not untouchables for us. Or I say untouchables that don't come to Alaska. Not even ones that we can.
We'll have to make a Alaska allocated list, so it doesn't
Okay.
come up here. But I would say you succeeded. You got 23 of them.
Yep.
And 22 of them we can't get up here.
Yeah. So
And one of them, theoretically, only we can get up here.
Yeah.
Which is the E.H. Taylor.
So, my light's dying. Sorry about that. Let us know what your guys' where you think I scored, where you think I scored, where you think that I shouldn't have gotten the bottle and should have passed, and what you think we'll like the most, and give us some guesses, and we'll make it through in the next couple videos. We'll make it through tasting all of these. So.
Yeah, I'm curious to see the thoughts of the people from the lower 48 here. Yeah, how do you do? And let us know which one you want us to try first. We'll put it out there.
Cheers on the E.H. Taylor.
Oh, good find. This is so good.
Have a good night.